to the ready, parade rest, and at ease. So for the command to the ready, it is untimed. So basically the command for the position is just to the ready. Like the drum major or staff or anyone will just command that, and then the position for it is you stand with your feet shoulder width apart, your arms are down in front of you, your left hand over your right, and your head is tilted slightly downward, because then this position is what we go to into the attention position from, which is timed, and we'll get to that in the next video. So then for the parade rest command, that one is timed because the command goes detail, parade, rest, and then on the next count the band says hut. So basically the position looks like this typically. Like it depends on your instrument. The carriage is different for every section, but when we're doing it without instruments, we usually just like cross our arms and our feet are shoulder width apart and our heads are just like straight forward, not like tilted down or up or anything. It's just like good posture but more relaxed, but not completely relaxed. And then from this position we go also into attention, typically in like parades or sometimes just randomly. It doesn't matter if we're just practicing drill. And then there's another command, at ease. That's where we go from any attention position, or sometimes like from, usually just from attention, or any like timed position, we go to at ease. So basically that just means like you relax. You don't have to like have a strict posture or anything, but it doesn't mean like to just walk around and like start talking to your friends. Like when you say at ease, like it's just relax from whatever we were doing previously, but give your attention to the staff and drum majors, because otherwise it's disrespectful and it causes the whole group to be unfocused. So yeah.
This is attention and set. So to go to attention, you're going to start it to the ready, and then when we call detail attend hut, on the next count you're going to bring your left foot into your right and your hands are going to come up in front of your face. And on the next count after we call it, you're going to say cats, and so that's all going to happen all at once. And so this position, you want to make sure that you have good posture, because this is how we're presenting ourselves to like the audience and everybody. And when we call set, like during band camp, instead of going through all the steps to get to attention, we're just going to call you to set, which just means automatically go to the attention position, like without calling to the ready first.
Marking time. So basically, marking time is what you do to make sure that you're in time with everyone, whether it's just marching and practicing drill or in the show, which is where it's most important. So basically, you're at attention when you do it. You're never like to the ready or at ease. So you're at attention always, and your feet are together, so just like the regular attention position. And the command that is given will be mark time, mark, and then if you break it down into the beats, it's, since mark time, mark is a timed command, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, like mark time, mark, and then on the fourth beat is when you lift your left foot, because it's always left foot first. So it's left, left, left. People will be saying that a lot to make sure that everyone's just in time. And when you do it, you want your heel to be up as high as possible, always at least up to your ankle bone, or as we say in anatomy, the medial malleolus. And yeah, so basically Alexis and Grace will demonstrate. I will call the command, so you're at attention or set. All right, mark time, mark. And see, on beat 4 of that command, they lifted their left foot and they're in time. Left, left, left. Halting. So this is a command we use when we're marking time to just stop marking time and be still. So it goes like this: detail, halt, 1, 2, and the 1, 2, the beat 4 and beat 1 of the next bar would be like when you actually halt. So it looks like this. So I'm marking time, detail, halt, 1, 2. So since the beat 4 of that would be on your right foot, since your left is always on beats 1 and 3, the right foot stops first, and then on beat 1 of the next measure, it would be your left foot coming down, and then you just don't mark anymore. It just stops.
This is left and right facings. So it's going to be a 4-count command when you're halted. So it's going to be detail, left, face, and then the next 2 beats, you're going to say either 1, 2, or pivot together, like whatever Mr. Buer wants to say at band camp. So how that works is on the first count, you're going to pivot, and the way that you do that is you're gonna lift your right toe and left toe and right heel. So you want to keep we're turning left, so keep your left heel planted. So lift, opposite, and then you're turning on your toe and your heel, and then you're gonna step together on the second beat. So can you try that?
Yes.
Set. Detail. Left face. 1, 2. Perfect. And just like your left face, you're going to keep your heel planted in the direction that you're turning, and then lift your other heel up. And then you're going to pivot on the 1, and then step together on the 2. So, set. Detail. Right face. 1, 2.
Left and right turns. So in this video, we're going to be explaining left and right turns, which you can only do from marking time. So you're going to be at attention, marking time. The command will be left turn march. So it's a three count command, and same thing with right turn march. So it'll look like when you're marking time, so like left turn march, 1, 2, 3, 4. So for the next 4 counts, you're gonna move your feet in small steps, not like in any direction, just so that you're facing left. So you're staying in place physically, you're just turning to the left. And for the right, it's the same thing. It's weird because you always step with your left foot first, but you're still gonna be stepping with your left foot first to turn right. So it'll be like right turn march, 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's a 90-degree angle, very simple. So we'll watch Alexis and Grace demonstrate. So set, mark, time, mark, left turn march, 1, 2, 3, 4, together. Simple as that, and it's the same for roll step. This is a more controlled style of marching that we use in band camp and our shows and basically any marching band performance that we do. It's very different from just walking or like high step marching. So in roll step, you have your heel, you want to get your toe up as high as you can while your heel touches the ground. The staff and leadership will always say heel to toe, because that's what it looks like when you march. And they'll always like point out if your toes are not up high enough, because like it's so easy to tell like from the audience standpoint, like if you're not marching correctly because it looks sloppy if you're just walking. So make sure you do the roll step because it just looks better and we want to look good as an ensemble.
Forward marching. So the forward marching is always comes after marking time, so you can't just start forward marching when you're halted. And it's a timed command, which means the first 3 beats of the command are the forward march, and then on beat 4, you're going to say walk, and then the next beat is step. So if you're marking time, and then forward march, the walk, you put your right heel down for the last time, and then on the step, you take your first step of the marching, and this is super important because we're going to work on it a lot at band camp, because you want your heel to be down on the ground and your toe to be really high, because the first step is the most important. So, set, mark, time, mark, forward, march, walk, step, mark, time, mark, detail, halt.
1, 2. Backwards marching. Backwards marching is going to be used a lot during basics and during the show, and it's just like forward marching except backwards. However, the technique of doing it is a little different. Unlike a forward march, you're not going to be roll stepping because it's kind of hard to do that backwards. So instead, what you're going to do is you're going to be lifting up your heels. And whenever you do that, you don't need to be on your tippy toes. You just need to have a good angle between your heel and the ground. So kind of like you're doing a calf raise. You want to be able to make sure that you have a good posture, and so you're not all wibbly wobbly all over the field. So whenever you do that, it's going to be a timed command, just like forward march. It's going to be backwards march, and so 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th beat, you're going to say lift, push. So on the 4th beat, you are going to lift up both of your heels, and then you're going to push off with your right foot, and your left foot, like in forward march, is going to be the one to go first, except going in the backwards position. And like all other commands, you're going to be starting in the attention position and have to go from a mark time. Set, mark, time, mark, backwards, march, mark, time, mark, 5 is our standard level of marching. It is the amount of steps in between each 5 yard lines. This is a yard line, and then that red one over there is a yard line. And 8 steps in between each one is how many steps there are, so 8 to 5. And you want to be able to make sure you can get 8 to 5 into your muscle memory with your feet. So whenever we're marching on the field or just simply doing basics, you can really be in line with everyone else, and it makes everything look a lot smoother. Whenever you are 4 steps or halfway, you should be halfway in between each yard line, which I will demonstrate here. And then whenever you are finished, your heel should be landing on the next yard line. You don't want to land before, you don't want to land after. It looks a lot cleaner if everyone's heel is landing on the yard line at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to be sure you're not staring down at your feet. They'll look sloppy if you do. Using your peripheral vision, you'll be able to tell where you are. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then your heel should be landing directly on that yard line. Left and right slides. So we have already covered forward and backwards marching. However, you need to be able to move side to side on the field, and you're going to accomplish this by doing what we call a slide. And like forward and backwards marching, you're going to want to make sure that your body is facing forwards at all time and that you have a good posture. To accomplish this, you're going to want to bring either your left or right shoulder back as far as it'll go with your instrument like this, so it is in front of your face and you're holding it properly. Whenever you snap into a left or right slide, you're going to be doing a pivot motion similar to a face. So you're going to be moving your feet like this, bringing your shoulder back as far as possible so you're facing forward, or moving it like this in the right position, moving your shoulder back as far as possible, just making sure that your feet are moving in the left or right position and that your body is facing forward. Set. Mark, time, mark. Left slide, march. Mark, time, mark. Right slide, march. Mark, time, mark. Detail, halt. 1, 2. Dressing. And no, we're not talking about the salad. Dressing is what we use whenever we are in block with everyone else. In block, we are going to be on the yard lines, and there's going to be a bunch of people in a line, and you want to make sure you are directly in line, meaning your shoulders are lining up with the person next to you. This is going to come in greatly whenever we are doing marching during the show or coming onto the field. It makes everything look a lot neater and a lot crisper. Dressing means you're going to snap your head whenever you hear the command, which is going to sound either like dress left, dress right, dress, or ready front, meaning that you snap your head back into the forward position. Whenever you snap your head either direction, you're going to be doing it very crisply and looking to the person who is going to be at the end of that line. The person at the end of that line will not move, as they are the base. Even if they are technically wrong in some senses, they are the person you're going to be guiding to, just to make sure that everyone is good. If you see that you are not in line with the person at the very end, you can go ahead, you can move around, you can shuffle yourself a little bit, but just make sure that everyone in that line is good to go. And it's good for training your peripheral vision to make sure you're good with the person next to you. And peripheral vision is very important during the show, during parades, coming onto the field. It's just an overall thing to make sure you are good in line with everyone else. You're going to start at the to the ready position, and then whenever you move to attention, you can then do the command. You cannot do it at to the ready. Detail, up 10, hut.
Cats.
Dress left, dress.
Snap.
Ready front.
Hump.
Dress right, dress.
Snap.
Ready front.
Huh.